Hello, I'm Teacher Robin. Welcome to another live streaming class. If this is your first time to watch a class with us, let me explain how it works. Today, our topic is how to talk about traditions and food in English. If you have a question during the class, you can write your question in the comment section and I'll answer it at the end of the class. And I have some questions for you to practice the vocabulary and grammar that we've learned today, so you can write your answers to those questions in the comments as well. So before we get started with today's topic, let's review what we learned in last week's class in case you missed it. We talked about a bit of an advanced grammar subject, parallel structures in English. So what does this mean? You have more information in the video, but just briefly we talked about conjunctions, verb coordination, clauses, and lists. So how to make everything flow and how to sound more fluent in English, especially in your writing. So if you missed that class and you want to watch it again, then you can go to the video section of our Facebook page, and there you'll find all of our previous classes so you can watch them as many times as you need to. You can share them on your own Facebook page, or you can tag someone you think might want to watch the class as well. So today we're going to talk about traditions and food. As I said in a previous class, we love talking about food in our classes, but especially because now we're in the month of November and Thanksgiving is coming up, as well as Christmas in December and other holidays. So we want to talk about how we can have a conversation about our traditions and the different kinds of foods that we eat when we celebrate these. So I want to start with a little celebration vocabulary, okay? So there are many different words that we can use in English other than just to celebrate, okay? To observe, we use when referring to a national holiday. So if it is Christmas Day, for example, which is a national holiday in the United States or in the UK, then we say, I observe this holiday, which means that you don't work, that you celebrate, okay? A party, it can be a noun or a verb. To party means to celebrate, or you can throw a party, you can have a party. Okay, fête is the same. It comes from French, but we also use this in English to mean to have a party, or meaning a party. A feast, this is also a kind of celebration, but normally involving food, normally a lot of food. If you said that you went to a feast, it implies that there was a lot of food and that you ate really well. Okay, some other celebration vocabulary, the verb to let loose. This means that you have fun, that you enjoy yourself, and to have a ball. So this refers to olden days when they had these kind of dances that they called a ball, but it also just means to have a really good time. If you said, I went to a Christmas dinner and I had a ball, it means that you had a really good time, you enjoyed yourself a lot. Okay, so now let's talk about what to do when you want to host a party. So maybe for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or for your company or something like that, you might want to host a party around the holidays. So what are the different ways that you can do this? First, you need to decide who you're going to invite, and you need to communicate this invitation to them. So you can do that by either mailing an invitation, or nowadays you can use something called an Evite, or even a Facebook invite. So you invite the people that you want and you create this online. Okay, so in your invitation, you'll want to include the theme, if there is one. Maybe it's just Christmas, or maybe you have some sort of special dress that you want people to wear, then you need to let them know that. Okay, the attire, so is it formal, is it informal? What is the menu, okay? Are you cooking dinner? Do people need to bring something? What things can they bring, etc.? Okay, and obviously the date and time, and then people need to RSVP, which means that they need to tell you if they can attend or not. All right? So once your guests arrive at the party, the event, the dinner, the lunch, etc., you need to make sure that they feel welcome. So when they come, you can take their coat, you can ask if you can offer them a drink. If you have a special theme, maybe you can compliment them on their outfit, on their costume, etc., things like that. Okay, now let's talk about some traditional food and drinks that we eat in English-speaking countries around the holidays. Now, many different families have different traditions. Even in the United States, the kind of food that we eat for Christmas might be different in the North or in the South. Maybe some traditional dishes might vary a little bit, and the same in the UK. Okay, but generally, for example, around Thanksgiving, we eat turkey, stuffing, which goes inside the turkey, or pumpkin pie is a popular dessert. Okay, in the UK, you might have something called a roast dinner. So that's a roast, which includes your potatoes, peas, Yorkshire pudding, things like that. Okay, on other celebrations, you might eat something like corned beef and cabbage. And then typical drinks are things like champagne, mulled wine, so this is hot wine with fruit and spices in it, or eggnog, which is an alcoholic drink mixed with egg in it, so really delicious. This is some traditional food and drink, but obviously there are so many different options. Okay, some other traditions that you might have with your family, not just what you eat, but how you celebrate, okay? So many families will celebrate with a meal, so you have your family and friends together, and you have lunch or you have dinner together. Then you might have a gift exchange, for example. If it's around Christmas time, we call this Secret Santa, or you can just draw names, for example, and you can agree on a price and what kind of gifts you might want to buy for each other. So then when it's time, when you sit down at your meal, you actually exchange those gifts. Okay, some other traditions that families have, maybe you sing songs together. After Thanksgiving, it's very popular in the United States to watch football together, watch a sporting event after you've eaten lunch. So you're very tired, you probably want to sit down on the couch and you might want to watch a football game, or some families even organize a game themselves. So you might play a football game maybe in your backyard or something like that. Some families like to go to the movies together after their meal. So these are some popular traditions, but many families have many different traditions around the holidays. Okay, food vocabulary. Let's look at some different phrasal verbs that we use when we talk about eating food. Okay, so if you're very hungry, then someone might tell you to dig in. So to dig in, when you dig, it's physically you take a shovel and you lift dirt, but actually it just means to start eating. If you're at the table with someone and they say dig in, it means it's okay to start. Go ahead and begin serving yourself. So these two phrasal verbs here, to chow down and to pig out, mean to eat a lot. So these phrasal verbs, if you say I really chowed down or I pigged out at the Christmas dinner last night, it means that I ate too much, maybe a little bit too much, and then you felt really full afterwards. Okay, and one of the best things about going to these kinds of meals with your family is that normally there are leftovers. So anything that you don't eat at the meal, you can take home with you and maybe eat the next day or throughout the week. So the leftovers is the food that was left at the meal. Okay, so how can we talk about traditional food? What if someone invites you to a meal and there is some food there that you've never seen before or that you've never tried? You might want to compliment someone on the way that they've prepared it, and you might want to ask for the recipe, or you might want to ask how this food is supposed to be eaten. So you can say, this turkey is delicious. What's the recipe? Okay, and then that person will say, you make it with, and then they will tell you the different ingredients. So with the turkey, okay, I put lemon, I put spices, I put garlic, etc. Okay, and how should I eat this? It seems like a silly question, but maybe there's some kind of dessert you think, should I use a knife and fork? Do I use my hands? Am I supposed to eat it with something accompanying it, like a gravy or some sort of sauce? Okay, so if somebody invites you to a celebration at their house, don't be afraid to say, how should I eat this? I've never eaten this before. This is different for me. Okay, so now I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me about your tradition. So please write your answers in the comments, and I will check them out at the end. I want to know, what do you normally eat at a celebration, okay? And share a recipe with us if you want. So what is some traditional food that you like to eat at a celebration, whether it's Christmas, another holiday, even your birthday? What's a special meal that you like to eat around that time? My second question, have you ever hosted a party? And how would you invite your guests? How would you invite someone to a party? So write that answer in the comments. And my last question is, what's a special tradition in your family? So when your family comes together, what's something that you like to do together? It could be to have a meal, but it might be something else, watching a movie or looking through old photos or something like that. So there's many different kinds of traditions that you can share with your family. So write your answers in the comments. I look forward to reading them. Okay, and as you're doing that, let me tell you a little bit more about our course here at ABBA. We have a complete course from beginners to business level. Our course, has 144 units. Each unit has a short film, then a video class explaining the grammar, and then you have exercises to practice all of your skills, speaking, reading, writing, and listening. So if you want to try out our course, go to our website. There you can register. And if you want to start out as a free student, you'll have access to the first unit of each level, as well as all of the video classes. And then if you decide to go premium, you'll have access to all of the course content, as well as a teacher. You'll be assigned a teacher you can write to anytime that you have a question. So, in addition to our course, we have many other resources that are available to you for free. So check these out if you haven't already. The first one is our blog, our ABBA Journal. Here you can find it translated into many languages, and you can find articles about grammar, culture, English for business, English for travel, grammar topics, other topics related to what we're talking about today, traditions, holidays, etc. So you can find a lot more information there in case you've been invited to a party or a traditional meal and you want to prepare your English for that. We're also on all of the social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I highly encourage you to check out our Instagram account if you haven't already, because there you will find many daily tips in our stories, as well as some interesting videos. So this is really, really useful. Okay, so as you are still writing your answers, I want to tell you about next week's class. Next week, I'm going to have a special guest joining us, and she is going to help me talk about learning modal verbs with songs. So you can learn almost any grammar point through songs, and modal verbs are very important, and many students ask for help on when do I use this modal verb, when do I use the other one. So we're going to give you an overview of all the modal verbs, and we're going to give you examples through songs. So if you like learning English with music, then this is a really good opportunity for you. So if there are no questions for the time being, I look forward to reading your answers later on today. I'll be checking, and please tell me about your traditions. I really want to know more about our students here at ABBA, and I hope you can join us next time for learning English, learning modal verbs through songs. So take care, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.